Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Mafex Marvel Spider-Man 2099. I know I didn't have to add Marvel, but it's there, and I'm silly. This is, I don't know, it's an interesting release. I think this is going to be the kind of release where if you're into Mafex, you're going to want to get it. And if you're not, you're probably going to find plenty of reasons not to. I'm going to talk about all of it, so this review will be useful for anybody in any category. But I think that's going to be the case, and we'll see by the end of the review if that is in fact the case. But let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we get into the figure, I do want to show you my package. It's an okay package. I'm not in love with the orange. The orange is not a good background color, if you ask me. But otherwise, it's nice because nice big front and center window. That's good. A little bit of artwork there to show you what the figure should look like. A little bit of figure there to show you what it doesn't look like. Same thing on the side. It's not bad. Like I said, if you're into Mafex, you're going to be okay with it, probably. If you're not, maybe you'll be pulled over. But let's do our question of the day right here, since we have this nice reference image. It's one of those age-old debates, like the animated series Batman cape. What color? I'm tapping the box, trying to get my focus to go up there. I have to tap the screen on my camera, not the box. Oh my goodness. Anyway, is he blue? Is he black? Which one is it? If you ask me, it doesn't matter. Just make it look like it looks. Who cares what the actual color is? These aren't real people. It doesn't matter if the intent was he's black or the intent was he's blue. Just make it look like that and it doesn't matter. So for me, this in-between dark blue color, like, it's okay, and I know that's a common version of this guy in terms of action figures and collectibles, but just do that. Make him lighter blue with heavy black shading, or black with heavy light blue shading. Everybody wins if you ask me. That's my take. What do you guys think? Would you prefer it to be like this? Would you prefer him to just be black? Would you prefer him to be blue, or do you want the paint like I do? Alright, so there's our question of the day. This guy is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. If you want to get one, I'll put a link in the description below. Wait until the end of the review, though. You may not want to. 6 1/4 inches to the top of his head. That's going to make him roughly 16 centimeters. He doesn't have the most height. He's a little bit smaller than Darwin, but you could probably fit him in, no problem, with your Marvel Legends. Alright, let's talk about the aesthetic on this guy. I don't think he has a very good silhouette. I don't know if he's reusing any parts. I didn't go through every Mafex figure to check, but he's definitely not the best looking. He's a little bit hippie. He's got a decent thigh gap right there. Pretty narrow chest. He's slender as all the Mafex figures are, so I can't really fault him for that. That's their styling. But he doesn't have that V shape that you really want to have. So that's unfortunate. And then his head is kind of an odd shape, especially from the side. It gets really weird. Oh man, he looks like Sid from Toy Story from the side. What kind of head shape is that? Oh goodness, are they all like that? They're not as bad, but they are pretty much all like that. This is the angrier head, which I think is a better looking head sculpt. But it still kind of has that same bulbous Pixar toddler head. Oh, I didn't even notice that before the review. Dang it. Okay, well, he's got a melon head. But, gosh. Okay, well, otherwise, he's basically just one color with a little bit of red on him. And the red is decent. It's not very good, though. And painting red is hard, so okay, but you still have to do it. And it's not super clean. The edges are okay, but opacity's not very good. He does have black shading throughout the dark blue. It is very subtle though, so it looks nice if you get really close. If you're not right up on it, you're probably not going to notice it. I don't know. So far, I'm not thrilled with it. I'm leaning more towards it's not a good pickup unless you're really into Mafex or Spider-Man, personally. But you know what? It does pose nicely and has some cool accessories, so maybe that'll win some people over. So we'll get into that. But the last thing I want to talk about for the looks is the cape thing. I don't know that there's a better option than having part connected to his back and part connected to his arms like this. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I think the only option would be to make something flexible that connects to both. Somehow very thin, flexible, and stretchy. That'd be pretty tricky. I don't know, maybe cloth was the way to go. But this is an option, and it's not the worst, but I'm not in love with it. Let me know what you guys think about that with the 3 parts, and these being fixed to his arms. It's not really my bag. I don't care for that too much. But I don't know readily what would be a better option, so yeah, I don't know. Alright, so aesthetically speaking, I'm going to give this guy a 6 out of 10. He's good enough that when you pose him, he'll probably look cool, but he's certainly not good enough for a hero pose on your shelf. As for accessories, we do get the 3 heads, the normal head, the slightly angry head, and then the half unmasked head. They're all well done. The angry head looks better than the rest, if you ask me, but they're all fine. You get interchangeable back pieces, so you have 3 different backs, one with the rounded cape, one with the squared off cape at the top, and then one with the 2-part cape, and then you get the arm pieces, so you get 2 sets of arm pieces, one slimmer set, one thicker set. Again, I don't know a better option. That's for sure a better idea, so they're whatever, they're okay. Some people are going to like them, some people are going to hate them. For hands, you get a whole bunch of different hands, including a magnetic set, and then you also do get a set of magnetic feet, so that's pretty good. We'll see if they fall off too easily as we're doing the review. You get the same webs that we have gotten a few times now, and they are in this nice cool color. I love that. So that's pretty nice. And then you get the standard Mafex display stand. Are they the only company doing that at this point? No, Revoltech does also. I love getting a display stand with my figures. It's so beneficial for figures that end up in the air like Spider-Man does. So that's a good spread of accessories. I'm going to say 9 out of 10. I don't know what else you would really need for him other than like swoosh effects, which, you know, that's nice, but definitely not a need, more of a want. Now I wanted to talk about this real quick for the accessories. Where's his gripping hands? There they are. Alright, so the same web effects came with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and we've seen these on all of the comic Spider-Mans already, and what they expect you to do, oops, let me stay in focus here, what they expect you to do with these is to just put this in the hand like this, alright, and then they fit in there relatively firmly, and you can do that. So that's just the one web effect, the one straight web effect that just goes in his hand. So they expect you to use this in various poses, like this. And I said in my Tobey Maguire review, you have to heat the hands up to get the webs in all the way. I didn't mean to do it like this. You don't have to heat it to do this. But I don't like using it like this. I think that doesn't look as good. I get what they're going for. The web is bending because he's swinging, and so it's in his hand, and then this is just a little dangly bit. I think it looks better, personally, to heat his hands and jam the web all the way through so that it's like this in his hand. Like, I can't do it right now. So that the dangly bit is the loose part behind his hand. So it looks like that. Or, you know, you can put it whichever way you want. I personally prefer to do that. You don't have to, but it's definitely not made to, so that's why I was saying you have to heat things. I didn't think to go into it in any more detail, but I kind of like it like that. I see the utility for both, but definitely to do this, you need to heat the hands to jam the web all the way through and have that dangly bit like that. Okay, that's enough about that. So yeah, accessories really good. I think I rated them 9 out of 10. If I didn't, that's what I give them. Alright, let's talk about the articulation on this guy. It's going to be the same as most Mafex figures, though I think maybe not as good as some. Let's see. So double ball peg in the head and a ball peg in the neck. He can look up nicely. He can look down nicely. Leans to the side all the way. Anybody that's against ball pegs in the head and neck, at this point, they have their head in the sand. It is not even close. This is the way to do neck joints. It's not even close. This is so much better, so much more utility in that joint there. Wonderful joint. For his shoulders, are they the best Mafex shoulders? No, they're the more basic ones that basically just do a standard butterfly up and down. You get basically nothing on this, so you're just going to be able to go forward. Now, they do work. Don't think they're not good at all. They're just not the best. So, like, yeah, you can bring his arm... You can bring his arm around, just not as well as the other shoulders that have more range. So they're more limited, but they will function. You can, of course, raise the shoulder up, so that's fine. His back keeps wanting to pop off. One of the downsides of making his whole back an interchangeable piece, I guess. Maybe not the best choice. I don't know. We'll see how that lasts. All right, you get your bicep swivel. You know, that's going to be a problem with these guys. Honestly, I could see a lot of people just not using these, frankly. Double jointed elbow works nicely. That's a pretty good elbow. Wrists are on little ball hinges. That's fine. They don't seem to pop off too easily, but I mean, for a Mafex, but they're still too easy if you ask me. Like, that's not a big enough peg, and it's essentially a straight peg. There's technically a little bit of retention on it, but not really. Don't love that. All right, for the diaphragm joint on this guy, let's see. Leans back pretty well. It's not the worst thing we've ever seen. That is all right. Leans forward a little bit, not a ton. Side to side that's solid. And then of course you got your rotation, and then leaning back with the bottom joint, he does lean back nicely. There goes that back again coming apart. So yeah, he leans back pretty well. Does he lean forward with both of them put together? Yeah, he does. Alright, it's not the best looking thing, but it's fine. Like, you're never going to have it look perfect and have great range. Not with only 2 joints, but that's solid in every direction, so that's all right. Waist twist is good too. All right, this is a softer piece. Let's see if he can achieve the drop down, look at myself in the mirror pose. that is all the rage. And yes, he can. There you go. Boop. He can do it very well. If you need that pose, you can do it. All right, so the drop downs work for that, but they are the reason his legs are out too far when they're up. They're the reason for the thigh gap, so that sucks. I'd like for a company, if they're going to do drop downs, to have 2 spots inside the hip so that it's a slip joint, so that when they're up you can mush them into the farther spot and the legs get closer together. And then when you go down you can pop them out and use that, and that would give you the better range. But he doesn't have that. All right, 4 splits, pretty good range. That is sufficient if you ask me. And then thigh swivel is good. Double jointed knee is good. Lower legs seem a little bit long. That is a problem with a lot of Mafex figures. And then for the ankles, a little bit loose in the balls. Don't want loose balls. A little bit loose. Ball hinge. But really good range all the way around. Toe hinge is a little stiff, but it is functional. That peg is oddly sticking out, but functional toe hinge, so that's good. Definitely loose in the balls and loose at this part, which is the ankle rocker, but is it going to come off too easily? Yeah. It came off way easier than I thought it was going to. That's unfortunate. Again, almost no retention, so that sucks. And then lastly, for the articulation, I want to just talk about the one cape has this, and then the one that has 2 capes has little ball hinges on each one. They're not going to serve much purpose, frankly. But that is the articulation. It's not bad. He is going to pose better than he looks, and once you pose him, he will look better. So there's that. That's one of the benefits of figures like this. Not good for hero poses. Different sort of situation than Revoltech, where they can't look good in hero poses because of all their joints. These guys just look a little gangly and weird. But once you pose them, these look pretty good. And same thing for Revoltech. So a similar problem, different specifics of the problem. That neck is getting tight. Might want to lube that neck. But I think once you pose this guy up a little bit, he's going to look all right. And the joints do function pretty well. I will say 8.5 out of 10 for the joints. Thigh gap is a problem, neck is getting tight, shoulders don't have the full range, things like that, loose ankles, but not bad. So, time for the final verdict. I think what I said in the beginning is true, that if you're a Mafex person, you know what you're getting, and this is it. Like, this is a quintessential Mafex figure. It's not the best one, it's not the worst one by far, it's just another run-of-the-mill Mafex of a Spider-Man, so maybe it's super popular even though it's not great, I don't know. But it's probably not going to win anybody over, and it's probably not going to push anybody away. That's my take. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But I'm going to give him an overall rating of 8 out of 10. It is a good release. It is not a great release. It is not a bad release. It is better than average. They have definitely had worse figures, for sure. But I think you can probably pose away and ignore a lot of the problems on this guy and still enjoy it. So if you were looking into it, then I say get it. If you weren't, don't. Don't pick this one up. There are better options. If it's your entry point to Mafex, this is not the one for you, if you ask me. Which you are because you're watching my video. But that's it for me, so thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.